Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 5 of What If Civilization Starts Over. In the last episode, we saw a small war between the two Michigan countries. We saw quite a few new countries form in this area, and we saw a lot of expansion and exploration too. So, if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started. As we always do, I'll be starting off in this area. So real quickly, I did add in explored waters. So like over in here, you can see the areas that are explored in the water. But, so over here, we see can we don't see a whole lot going on much anymore, but we see the green country explores out quite a bit, both in the north, and the western parts of their country. We see a bit of exploration southwards by the Michigan country, or by the lower peninsula country. Moving on to this uh country where we see the most happening. They they explore all of this land here and are able to actually get quite a bit. And for the lands these countries expand into, firstly, the blue country they will expand into all of the almost all of the lands they just discovered. Moving on to the green country, we have them claiming over all of this land here, not really going in anywhere in this southern part. And lastly, the lower peninsula country will claim over all of this land here. Moving on to Europe, we see a bit more of the we see a bit more of the Pyrenees Mountains being discovered. And now it just remains as this very narrow strip. Kind of the same thing with Alps, as they have now realized that, hey, the mountains don't go on and on forever. Denmark will continue to explore the land of here, so getting to by where Stockholm is, and a bit further north in Norway. Over in the British Isles, France, and East North France and West France will continue exploring the British Isles, as we now see more and more of Ireland and parts of Scotland being discovered. And for the last two bits of exploration, the Catalonian country will continue exploring more and more of Iberia, getting over to where Portugal is, a bit north of there. They also expand west through the rest of the Iberian Peninsula, also exploring southwards. They'll discover these islands here. Now, finally, for the Lime team, they discover all of Corsica and part of northern Sardinia, and they also will continue going out through the Italian peninsula, eventually discovering this land. They will then continue moving along the Adriatic Sea coast, getting to about right in here. Now, the expansions, will start with the north and head down south. So Denmark will claim over all of this land here. Whoops. It will also claim over a decent chunk of the new Norwegian land. The Dutch country here, oh, that's, okay, there we go. The Dutch country will expand into the bit of the land to their east, not really going out too far. I'm getting only about this land here. However, they will make a landing off in northern Britain, and they'll be quick to claim over a decent chunk of the land up here. We see France will expand into all of this land, also claiming over the Isle of Man, and making a colony in Ireland. This is probably the furthest piece of land any country has from their homeland. So I feel like that's definitely closer. That is. Brittany will claim over all of that, and they will also set up a colony in Ireland, which is going to be a lot bigger. Switzerland, despite not really doing much, will claim over this land here, meeting up with where Catalonia is. Also, I forgot real quick, but West France will also claim over some of this new land down here. Switzerland will do a bit of expansion eastward, and that's pretty much all they do right now. Meanwhile, Catalonia is going to claim over all of this land here in the north, as well as all of this land up here. And they will also claim these islands. And lastly, for the Lime team, they will claim over Corsica. Oops. Not going to Sardinia yet, as well as claiming over a decent chunk of the Italian peninsula, and they expand a bit. Now we have two new countries forming. First being a kind of familiar country to anyone who watched my old WICSO and anybody who watches Ada's Pros WICSO. The Cyan-Iberians will appear here, and they will place their capital in the northernmost part. And then coming over here, country that will be familiar if you watched my WICSO, Yugoslavia will make an appearance in here in Yugoslavia. And their capital will be right here. Mm, I just want to say something real quickly. Uh, every every place on the map is now officially a country. We don't have like any empires or anything yet. And also, some of these like groups that kind of just appear, they're mostly either tribes or they are country or they are people breaking away from the main country, not in a civil war. Okay, moving on. We see the pink team and Bulgarians. We see Istanbul and Bulgaria expanding or exploring along north on the Black Sea coast, as well as exploring west. And some people say that they heard about other countries in the west, so they will continue to explore out west, and having two different groups west. Both will eventually meet up with the area by Yugoslavia, and this is our first bit of. These are our first two groups to meet up. But they will continue to expand or explore into Greece, discovering all of the mainland and all of these small islands out here. They do not discover Crete yet. However, they do discover Cyprus. We see the blue team exploring south along the Mediterranean. They did hear about the countries over in the west. They aren't too interested in them. We see Caucasia and the Azerbaijan country exploring more and more into Mesopotamia as they get closer and closer to the Persian Gulf. They will also try wrapping around the Caspian Sea, but they only get to about right here. The blue team will also discover a bit more into Mesopotamia, getting to right here. We see Crimea discovering all of Crimea, as well as a decent chunk of land around the Sea of Azov. And lastly, we see them wrapping around the Black Sea and finally meeting up with the Bulgarian. We see Caucasia exploring more of this Russian land, eventually getting to up in here. Caspia will do the same thing. Caspia will also expand a little bit east, not going too far, but they don't do any southern expansions. Alright, and coming back over to America, we see a country breaking away for in America, for here in America, as almost the entire eastern portion of the blue country breaks away, calling themselves the Sea State or something. You guys make it up. I'm gonna call them the Yellow Team though. The blue team isn't really in a good spot for fighting, as going to provinces, major cities, turning those on. We see the yellow team quickly takes a very large, a couple rather large provinces. Will continue to expand into more and more provinces. Eventually, they will capture a major city here, and then they aim to capture this one here as well. We actually see the Lower Peninsula gets in on the war, even though they just lost a war to the Upper Peninsula and lost quite a lot of land. I also did some more provinces, and I actually merged a couple provinces just to make it look better. Like this later. But we see Michigan taking over these provinces in the west of the country, as well as taking over its major city and about half of this province. We see the Yellow Rebellion take over a bit more land in the north, and this will be known as the day that the blue country just got absolutely destroyed, as the Upper Peninsula will join the war, and they are the second strongest country in the world. The blue country is the eighth, but against three countries one of them being a rebellion. They're not in a good spot. So we see the green team pushing down, eventually capturing the capital, and the rest of the land goes up to the yellow. So now we take a look at a peace treaty. Here we have the peace treaty. As you can see, the Niagara country got absolutely destroyed. If I take off the provinces layer, zoom in right here, you can see that they are blocked from really expanding anymore. Looking at the land that the countries took, obviously the yellow country took all of this, but the green team took these three provinces here. The pink team took these three here, as well as these two here, creating a new province in this land. And the yellow team created a new province right here. So that is all the land that is, yeah. Alright. Now, moving on quickly, come back here. The pink team will claim over a bit more land. Claim this. So this land gets discovered. Bulgaria will expand a bit north on the Black Sea coast, as well as expanding a bit more into mainland Europe. They will capture over this land here. We see a new country being formed right here. It will be it's pale. It will be this yellowish color country. It's like a yellowy green. Yeah, this color is country. And it will also be having all of these little islands here. And their capital will be right here. Moving on from that, the orange team is going to be the one getting Cyprus. The blue team will continue their expansion on the Mediterranean, claiming over all of this land. Actually, they'll also take this little strip here. We see Caucasia expanding a bit more south, climbing over this, and they expand a bit north into this land here. We see Crimea now being more, but I'm gonna actually call them the Sea of Azov country. I actually did that for like one episode in my other WICSO. Eh, Crimea works too. I'll call them both names. The Tan Azerbaijan country claim over all of this. And we see Caspia will claim quite a bit of land, claiming over all of this. Alright, we actually only have one event happening down in Africa. It's not even in Africa, it's Asia. But that is this area here is explored and claimed by the scientist. Over in Asia, we don't have much happening over here either. Just a lot of exploration and expansion. And that is going to be all of this land, as well as Taiwan, and this island here. As for the lands these countries will be getting, South Chinese country, the South Chinese country will be getting all of this. They'll get all of Taiwan, and they will get this island here. The green country is going to kind of like expand around China's claims. You've got Middle China, you've got North China, and South China. As for China, they'll be claiming over all, well, they'll claim over a very large portion of land. Which is going to be all of this. It's kind of why they were okay with South China getting, or like the mid China getting this land here. And we have one final, very quick date on the top 10 after losing the war. Niagara is no longer the 8th strongest country in the world, meaning the 9th strongest and 10th strongest will both move up, and we will find a new 10th strongest. I think the 10th strongest country in the world should be, I kind of feel like either Japan would work or Denmark. Maybe the yellow country, but they're quite new. So I'm gonna go with Denmark. Alright, and something I just realized never happened. We gotta give these guys a capital real quick. And it will be in this city here. So if you enjoyed today's episode of What If Civilization Started Over, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.